My intestines are shattered. I do enemas every day to take. I have to lay down on the ground with the fetal position with my legs to the left to actually go to the bathroom. When Liver King went to make his Black Rifle coffee, and look at what I found. I found 15 pounds of raw, thinly sliced pieces of carnivory.
Being with your family and providing stability, you're having a generational crash out, trying to save your ego by fighting Joe Rogan. Like that's going to help anything.
Not only did he scam us, but he's dragged the whole health industry through the mud with this clown show.
I dropped thousands of bucks on his supplements only to find out it was all a steroid.
The hate Liver King got? That was just the beginning. Brian Johnson, aka Liver King, built an entire empire on one promise, that his shredded body came from raw meat, primal workouts, and ancestral living. No steroids, no shortcut. Millions believed him. They followed the lifestyle. They ate raw liver, took cold plunges, and dropped real money on his supplements. All because they thought this man was proof that natural living worked. But in late 2022, it all fell apart. Leaked emails exposed the truth. Liver King was spending over $11,000 a month on a steroid stack straight out of a bodybuilder's fantasy. Testosterone, Winstrol, growth hormones, you name it. Even on the PBD podcast, Vincent Oshana called him out, saying it was insane how much he spent just to sell this shady ancestral dream to millions.
This guy's 47 years old. He built his brand on, the raw meat, the caveman lifestyle. What was it? The tenements and all that stuff. He said he was all natural, but found out he was spending $11,000 on a month on steroids, and it blew up in his face, cost him his deals. His products all took a huge hit. Led to lawsuits.
Can you just imagine that? When a man wants to promote his lifestyle and health, what does he really sell you first? The money. Think about it. When people heard Liver King was spending $11,000 a month just to stay healthy, they didn't question it. They believed it. They thought, if a fitness influencer is willing to burn that much money every month, his primal lifestyle must really work. Why else would he do it? But that was the trap. He wasn't just juicing. He was planning it, hiding it, and making millions off the lie. This wasn't an accident. This was a perfectly calculated brand strategy built on deception. He denied it for months, mocked critics, doubled down on his natty claims. But when the emails leaked and Derek from More Plates, More Dates dropped that viral video, the Liver King lie, the internet turned on him overnight.
What I'm currently taking. So here's this stack: IGF-1 LR3, CJC with IMAP, ibutamoren, omnitrope, testosterone cypionate, DECA, nandrolone decanoate.
So when people saw the truth, of course they were shocked. And they should have been, because this wasn't just about trusting someone with random advice. This was about trusting someone with the one thing more valuable than money: your health. People believed Liver King's body was built naturally, proof that raw meat, ice baths, and ancestral living could turn them into warriors too. But instead, he pumped himself full of shady, dangerous steroids way over the limit just to sell the fantasy. No wonder people felt scared, betrayed, and furious when they found out. And what did Liver King do next? 3 days later, Liver King dropped his so-called confession video. But instead of truly apologizing, he played the mental health card, claiming he lied to raise awareness for depression and suicide among young men.
I'm making this video to apologize because I f***ed up, because I'm embarrassed and ashamed, because I lied and I misled a lot. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been tricky as f*** to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong, and I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
So that's when Liver King crossed a whole new level of shamelessness. Because when it was finally time to humble himself and ask for mercy, to genuinely say sorry, he didn't. Instead, he stood there bragging, acting like what he did wasn't even wrong. It was almost like he was saying, yeah, I lied, so what? If you think I'm wrong, I don't care. I'm not taking it back. That was the real tone behind his so-called apology. People weren't buying it. His fans felt betrayed. They weren't just mad, they were humiliated. They'd followed his every move, ate raw liver daily, bought his overpriced supplements, and now they found out it was all fake. Some forgave him, most didn't, but it didn't stop there. By 2025, Liver King went off the rails completely. He started posting bizarre, unhinged videos on Instagram and threatening Joe Rogan.
Anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man.
to a fight?
This was actually such a shady, low-level stunt just to stay relevant on the internet, because once all his lies were exposed, how else was he going to keep selling his brand? He needed something extreme, something louder than the truth. So what did he do? He went for the most desperate move possible. He turned his meltdown into a threat. That's why he started running his mouth about Joe Rogan, making those wild threats, because controversy was the only way left to promote his business. He drove to Austin, Texas, where Rogan lives, checked into the Four Seasons Hotel, posted rants accusing Rogan of being a bully who hurt his family, and then just kept doubling down.
To Joe Rogan's town, Austin. I was here before you, Joe Rogan. It's Texas, that's my home. This week you probably might need to worry about me. Probably need to worry about Joe Rogan more. You've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke.
But Liver King clearly forgot who he was trying to mess with. Joe Rogan isn't just some random influencer. He's the biggest podcaster in the world. So why drag Rogan's name into this? Simple. Because when positive marketing can't save you anymore, the only thing left is negative marketing. Stir up drama, pick a fight with someone bigger, and hope people keep talking about you. But this time, Joe Rogan didn't stay quiet. He hit back with a bombshell. He didn't just ignore the threats, he fired back and filed a lawsuit against Liver King for making terroristic threats. Police got involved. On June 24th, 2025, Johnson was arrested and charged with terroristic threats. But here's the crazy part. Liver King still walked away with the money. Don't be shocked, he made millions selling that fake primal dream, and he still had plenty stashed away. So even when Joe Rogan came at him with that lawsuit, Liver King wasn't exactly ruined. Some people even say Rogan gave him mercy, just enough rope to hang himself in the public eye, but not enough to keep him locked up forever. So Liver King got out of the arrest, he was slapped with a $20,000 bond, given an ankle monitor, and ordered to undergo a psych evaluation. Even then, he kept posting. This wasn't the primal leader anymore. This was a guy spiraling under the weight of fame, failure, and ego. His business tanked, his following collapsed, he got hit with a $25 million lawsuit for fraud, and every attempt to control the damage, from that throne room confession to the wild threats, only made things worse.
His companies were sued for $25 million for deceptive marketing due to his steroid controversy. And obviously, there was plenty of people, including commentary channels and podcasts, that talked about the situation.
From this point on, Liver King's downfall wasn't just a moment, it turned into a slow, ugly spiral. Day by day, his empire crumbled. His family life got messier, his business tanked. The loyal fans who once ate raw liver just to be like him, they started turning their backs one by one. But none of this came out of nowhere. This wasn't bad luck or some random cancellation. This was the result of his own shady moves. He built his fortune on lies, he threatened people just to keep his name alive, and he betrayed the very audience that paid his bills. Why did he do it? Some say it was for the money. He knew exactly how much people would pay to believe in a fantasy. Some say it was pure ego. He loved being worshipped as the king. Maybe it was both. Or maybe the fear of fading away drove him so crazy that he did the unthinkable. Lie, cheat, and threaten just to keep the spotlight on him. But whatever his reason, the result stayed the same. Liver King destroyed his own kingdom. He didn't just ruin his name, he shattered people's trust. He turned the raw, primal dream into a joke. He showed the world that behind every shiny six-pack and viral catchphrase, there might just be another fraud cashing in on your hopes. And the saddest part, he didn't even have the backbone to own it. When the truth came out, he didn't stand up and admit he lied for money. He didn't rebuild trust. He doubled down, lost his mind, and turned his meltdown into a twisted sideshow. That's what Liver King really left behind. Not just liver, dumb workout tips, or primal slogans, but a whole generation of people who woke up and realized sometimes the guy screaming the loudest about truth and health is just another liar with a fake crown and a credit card full of steroids.